Hey everybody, I'm back. So I'm working my way through this. I just watched the logical operators video. I have a couple quick observations about that. First off, this is a quick screen grab from the video. In this video, they very quick, the DBT presenter quickly goes through these logical operators. Um, I'm sure that you've been exposed to, again, if you took data analytics at Temple, you've been exposed to and, or, as well as like, but you may not have been exposed to these other ones. And I also encountered a little gotcha, so I'm going to try to cover that now. Um, so I'm going to go to DBT Cloud. This is where the video picks up. So this is going to get me every order greater than April 1st, 2018. Um, One thing that I wish that was mentioned in the video was that when you write a date in SQL, the dates are in year, month, day order. This is a convention, pretty standard across different implementations of SQL. So this is a string, single quote, with a 4-digit year, a 2-digit month, and a 2-digit day, and that in the background gets translated into a proper date. That's just a little bit of background information there. So we have the greater than operator there, and we can say uh, order, or we could say status like anything that starts with the letter R, right? So that's R percent sign. The percent sign is a wild card. And in the world of SQL, R, the percent sign wildcard means you can mentally translate that to 0 or more characters. So it's the letter R followed by 0 or more characters. And you can see it down here that our order status is returned or return pending and so on. And then in the video, the presenter says, hey, this is all case sensitive. So if I were to do a capital R here, I'm not going to get any matches, but if I do a lowercase r, I'm going to be back to my original set of results. This because you can see that returned and return pending start with a lowercase r. There is a little bit of I think that's a little bit interesting. Let me just try something real quick. So these are all my returned orders. I'm going to try a capital R. And I get nothing there. Now you might think, well, that makes sense. But the statement that comparison is case sensitive is a little bit of a simplification. Depending on which implementation of SQL you're working with, comparison may or may not be case sensitive. For example, there's a MySQL database server that many of MIS students have used where this would work because the comparison would be case insensitive. So it's more of a function of the underlying data system, right? And I don't know to what extent DBT Cloud is adding a case sensitivity, or if this is a Google BigQuery thing. All right, that was just a little sidebar into an adventure here. What I wanted to share with you is that in the video, if you're following along with the video faithfully, you'll notice that I've got a little difference here between what I'm typing and what the video presenter was typing. So I'm able to run this just fine, and look at that, chug, 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 chug. But if you go back to the video says we're going to use order status, right? And watch what happens when I do that. I'm going to run that, and it's going to say, oh no, it's broken, right? And the reason that it's broken has to do with the fact that order status is an alias for the underlying column called status. And for some reason, which I suspect has to do with Google BigQuery and not dbt Cloud, I suspect that this alias is not being respected. It has everything to do with the order in which aliases are evaluated by the underlying system. So in addition to remembering to change raw to dbt-tutorial, you also have to remember that in this example, I have to change order status to status. And that works. Okay, that was fun. What else do we have here? We have like, in. The treatment of in was quite good. Between was quite good. My only thing with between is, and then from, did they do isnnl? I'll have to go back and check. And or not. That was all pretty good. My only addition there is to say that when in doubt, if you're not sure, let me do between, where order date is between, I'll say 2018, January 1st, and 2018, May 1st, right? So that gets me a hunk of data. Oh, I have a typo. There. What if I only wanted the shipped, or let's say the completed orders between those dates. In the video, the video instructor had you say and order status equal completed, right? And that will work, right? Oh wait, no, maybe it won't. Curious. That might be a BigQuery thing. When the video instructor did this, I thought to myself, that looks odd. And you can see why it looks odd. We have the order date between this, and then we use the word and again. If I were writing this, I would use a pair of parentheses here, right? To make it clear that this was to be evaluated as one thing, followed by and this condition. So we've got two conditions here, this condition and the other condition. And if it makes you feel really good, you can put parentheses around the other condition. Adding a couple parentheses here and there, let's see if that works. Oh, we've got the same problem with status here. Adding a couple parentheses not only makes your SQL more readable, but it makes it more resilient to when applied across different platforms. So let me again try to reproduce the problem as I saw it. That should, is that going to work or is it going to crash? That worked. That worked. So it was, so the earlier error message here was because I typed in order status. But can we all agree that even though this works, that this is harder to read, right? But if I say this, then it's more clear to me as a human being, what this and is doing and what that and is doing. Okay, that's enough about that. I think that's where I'm going to stop. Let me take a peek at my notes. I'm going, not was presented as if it's just something that modifies in. That's not quite true. Not select is something that can be applied to any condition. So you can use not in front. So if I could say, if I wanted order dates that were not between, right? I could do that. That would get me all of the any order date not between 2018 January 1st, and let's see if that runs. Make sure I'm not lying. It's kind of a mind-bending query, and there were none. There we go. So it's just my not being completely familiar with the data. So that's not between January 1st and March 1st. And I get all these. Could I say and status equals completed? Yeah. So my point here is that not is being applied to this clause, because just like it says in the slide here, not can be applied to rows that do not meet any given condition. The way it was presented, it looked almost as if not only went within, and that is not, that is incorrect. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna see if there's anything to be said about null. Okay, I just rewatched the logical operators video, and yep, I was right. Null was not treated in that particular video. I'm guessing that that's coming up next in nulls. So, all right, I've already gone on for far too long. Talk to you later.